Hallå och mycket varmt välkomna till kvällens livestream, Dubbelklick nummer 275. Idag så har vi Fairphone på besök och vi kommer nog köra hela livestreamen mer eller mindre i engelska, förutom det här lilla segmentet då för
på engelska.
Ja, jag vet inte,
on English.
On English. Nej, jag kom av mig där lite med mikrofonen som dog mitt i. Men nu är vi förhoppningsvis live och hörs bra. Anyway, welcome to the live stream, Luke.
Thank you.
And we're going to do it in English. So you can, of course, ask your questions in Swedish and we'll try and translate them.
Yeah, and we're going to try and get him to translate it by himself, read it in Swedish and try and figure out what it is.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun idea, actually.
Yeah.
We just came up with it. But yeah, welcome to the live stream. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and where are you working?
Yeah, of course. So thanks for having me. I'm Luke, originally from the UK, but my mother's French, so half British, half French. But I've been living and working for the last 9 years in Amsterdam. I came to Amsterdam to work for Fairphone, who is the company that I work for, and who we're sort of here to talk about. So if you haven't heard of Fairphone, we are a consumer electronics company. So we design and manufacture predominantly smartphones, but also recently audio as well, with the objective of kind of reducing our environmental impact, but maximizing the social impact. And there's a number of different sort of things that we do in terms of the design of the product, but the way in which the product is made, that we try and achieve those objectives.
Right, yeah, so we were recently visiting you guys. We have started doing some articles, we're doing some videos as well. Is there any more videos upcoming?
No, everything is live now.
Everything is live now, yeah. So you can actually find that on our website right now, anecdotes. And so tell me, I wasn't there, so tell me more about the visit. What did you...
We ate bitterballen.
Fair enough. We were actually talking about that on the car ride, me and Backman.
Yeah.
There's apparently a place here in Gothenburg that serves it.
Yeah, we're gonna try it out. Not today, but
yeah.
I hope to get some more bitterballen.
Okay.
It's such a awesome word for a Swedish speaker. But yeah, we went to Amsterdam to get to know Fairphone and help them tell their story, most of all, because you have such a fascinating story coming from I don't know, activism almost, and now you're trying to change the mobile industry from within by being an example of how you can make things better and sustainable at the same time and be pro-consumer instead of anti-consumer, which is very refreshing in today's world. So I've written a few articles. We've posted a few videos. We can show it.
Yeah, so just about
find them.
We can actually
to just tell that story.
So we have all of the articles live on iNet right now. So obviously you need to scroll a little bit towards our news article segment. But yeah, here we have, we just released these. These are from today,
the interviews. So we have a designer, founder, and the developer or product owner. But if you click on the blue button, you can see all of it in one spot. So if you scroll down, you can just have it all in one place.
Ah, perfect. Yeah. So on the landing page.
Introduced to that menu as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So basically that's what we're gonna talk about today. So if you guys have any questions in regards to, whatever is on the articles or about Fairphone, feel free to just ask them right away and we'll, try and, well, I won't do anything because I don't know anything. I'm here to, learn today. Of course, we'll do some drops as well. We'll have, exclusive discounts and we'll do that later on in the evening and we will maybe have some competition as well. And there we go. There's already some questions going on. How often do you plan to release new models? How many years of software support is planned on each model? And do you plan to use your own unique UI like Samsung, for example, or will you always use vanilla Android? A very long and different questions.
I can
Let's start with the first one.
No, that's fine. So I think if you look at Fairphone's history, we have a kind of cycle of releasing a device every 2 years or so.
Yeah.
I think what's really important to understand in terms of that cycle is that the phone that's sitting on the table now is our latest device. So that's the Fairphone Gen 6. So that was released in June last year. And then the phone before that was the Fairphone 5. And that was released, I think, in sort of 2023, so 2 years before there. But like, essentially, when the Gen 6 came out, that doesn't mean that everybody that was on a Fairphone 5, we're trying to bring them onto a Gen 6.
No.
The objective is that whenever we bring out a new device onto the market, it's really kind of only aimed at users that really feel like they need to buy a new device.
All right, yeah.
The objective is that we still have in the market Fairphone 2, Fairphone 3, Fairphone 4 and Fairphone 5 users as well. And what we want to do is give them the possibility to hang on to that device for as long as possible. So have spare parts that are available, and also have software support updates. So for example, with the question that was the second question there in terms of how many years of software support, the device will be supported until 2033. So we offer 8 years of software support. So from a software perspective, we will do a minimum of 5 Android upgrades.
Yeah.
And then that's sort of on the software part, but also the device has a 5-year warranty from a hardware perspective as well. So really, we're trying to always give the user the possibility and the opportunity to hang on to that device for as long as possible. From the third question, typically, historically, we've kind of just kept it kind of vanilla Android to make it as sort of simple as possible. One of the new features that we've done on the Fairphone Gen 6 is kind of half hardware, half software, is that we've added the Fairphone moments. So I'll sort of try and show it here. So this is the device I have, but like this little yellow piece here. Yeah. So I think here you can just sort of see my normal kind of, this is, I'm trying to work out which way to go. So this is my normal, stock Android basically. And if I sort of hit this, it will turn my phone into a kind of like minimalist mode.
Right.
So that's one of the kind of, let's say if you look at the difference between 5 and Gen 6, is that we wanted to keep it as vanilla as possible, but this is really a kind of Fairphone touch. Yeah. And that comes from when we were designing the phone, we now have like a growing kind of community. And we interviewed 40,000 different Fairphone users when designing the Gen 6. And one of the like biggest things that in terms of biggest pieces of feedback that we got back, is a lot of users are like, look, I love my phone, but I feel that I'm spending too much time on it. Yeah, and so Moments was like a really kind of simple idea to be like, well, look, you can switch it into minimalist, you can sort of use it for less. And also we saw this trend of dumb phones being created. So someone could have a smartphone and a dumb phone, and we're like, okay, it's cool that people are addressing that, but it's not a good idea for people to have 2 phones. No. Really, we want to minimize the amount of products that are being created. So I think that hopefully tackles the 3 questions.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. I mean, I feel it's a good answer for sure.
Okay, no.
But I did see a version on your website with a different UI, or was it a different OS?
So so Fairphone, since Fairphone 3 has made our devices with an open bootloader.
All right.
So allows, and we also publish the source code of the software for the device, allowing people the opportunity, and I think we're one of the very, if not the only vendor to do that.
Yeah.
And then we partnered with an organization called Murena. And so what you can do is on fairphone.com, you can also not only buy the Fairphone Gen 6, but you can buy the Fairphone Gen 6 with Murena EOS pre-installed on it. But users can also do it themselves. It's possible to do it yourself as well.
Yeah, so if you buy, like, from example, inet.se, you can still do it, or?
You can. So we'd love to, and I don't want to release. We are working, and we'd like to get to a point where our resellers can do that as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so
no, it just got me quite curious because I saw it the other day and I was like, I never knew about it actually, that there was like another OS for the Fairphone.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah.
But or maybe I didn't listen when you had your presentation this winter.
I think that's the correct answer. But here's a very interesting question. Have you noticed any uptick in sales with EU consumers being more pro-EU products lately?
Difficult to sort of give a kind of number. I think our impact report came out yesterday. So yesterday was Earth Day, and so just in time for Earth Day, we released our impact report. And one of the sort of things that we highlighted within the impact report is that we have grown in sales by 40%. So if you look at what we did the year, so it's 2025 impact report. So if you look at 2024 versus 2025, our sales have increased by 40%, and we only sell in Europe. So from that perspective, definitely there's clearly an EU kind of demand for our products because we're only selling in Europe. But I think it's something that we as a company are also trying to lean into, to be like, hey, by the way, like this is a company that is based in Amsterdam. It's a European vendor. And I think geopolitically, if you looked at what's happened over the last year, that's definitely been in our favor in Europe. So exactly, definitely.
Yeah. Does Fairphone have anything similar to Samsung Pay, where you blip your phone to pay for stuff? Maybe this works for Google Pay. And yes, it works for Google.
So the device has NFC. Yeah. So you can upload your debit cards or your credit cards to it and sort of tap in.
Yeah, exactly.
In that functionality it exists. Yeah.
Which is amazing. Thank you so much for keeping things open source and easily available in time when big companies lock down more and more. Yeah, that's
very welcome. And I'm gonna plug. Hopefully you can sort of call me out because I won't try and plug it too much. But our impact report, which came out yesterday, does have a whole section on what we do from an open source perspective. So I definitely, if that's something of interest to you, please have a look at our impact report and then check out what we're doing on a software longevity perspective, because we have a whole section on open source software and what we're doing there to try and really push the industry to also act in the same way.
Exactly. There's actually one in the comments that that did get their Fairphone from iNet and have installed EOS, and was quite a smooth process. Can highly recommend for anyone who is considering to de-googling their lives. Bank ID and other bank apps works great. That's actually a real good point, because that's something I know going like maybe just 2 years back, it was like a big thing where you couldn't, install any other OS, because we have this thing here in Sweden called Bank ID, where you basically need it from, day-to-day life in order to, function, to pay your
digital identification.
Yeah, exactly. So, to pay your rent or bills in general, you usually need Bank ID. Yeah. So that's actually really good to know.
Can you just, before it disappears, is it possible to upgrade hardware like the camera? Because with the headphones, you actually have that opportunity with the headphones XL, that you can swap out the old drivers for the new ones. But for the phones, will you ever have that possibility?
Yeah. So Fairphone 2 and Fairphone 3, we did camera upgrades.
Oh, you did?
From a hardware perspective, users of a Fairphone 2 were able to upgrade their camera to a better performing camera. The same with Fairphone 3, so it went from Fairphone 3 to sort of Fairphone 3 Plus. Yeah. From the Gen 6, the modularity of the device does kind of open the opportunity to upgradability. But for us, the principal reason why the devices are modular is for repairability and longevity.
Especially batteries, I can imagine, like really makes them live longer to easily be able to repair.
Exactly.
And it's quite cheap to repair a battery.
So it's like the number one reason why someone would buy a new device or change their device is because the battery performance begins to deteriorate, which is, for me, and I guess a lot of people at Fairphone, like really strange. Like if we demo the device in terms of its modularity,
Yeah.
and I've done a few demos before, and people are like, "Oh, that's so old school," and it's really frustrating that that's perceived as old school, because it shouldn't be. That should be perceived as actually really useful. That should be perceived as actually normal behavior in terms of like sustainability. And like one of the things we try and use as an example is like, right, imagine if you had like a bicycle, and like imagine if your bicycle was designed in a way that you were prohibited from being able to change the chain.
Yeah.
You'd be like, well, what a ridiculous bicycle. Why would I have bought this in the first place? For us, it's exactly the same philosophy with our consumer electronics. It's like it should be as easy as possible to replace like a really kind of key functional part of the device. And so, yeah, battery's a really big one. And also, like, it's only 30 euros. I think it's like 33.
40.
Yeah, is it 40 euros? Oh, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah. It's well,
If you haven't changed I just based it on the your report.
no, it should be.
Yeah, but,
Oops. A little bit glitch in our screens here. But tell us more about, like, for anyone who doesn't know, like, Fairphone. What is Fairphone? Like, someone who's,
Yeah, of course.
you know, completely blank.
So,
Never heard of it before.
No, with pleasure. So Fairphone started all the way back in 2010. So it started as an awareness campaign. So the awareness campaign was centered on the DRC, so the Democratic Republic of Congo, and on conflict minerals.
Yeah.
So essentially around that, like, almost everybody in 2010 had a smartphone, but very, very few. Bring back the. Sorry, I've just seen one of the comments. Bring back the Nokia 3310. And there's a question at the top about producing in China, which we'll get to. And so everyone sort of back in 2010, a lot of people had a smartphone. Very few people were aware of kind of like what's happening behind the production of a smartphone. So you've got kind of 60, nowadays you've got like 60 different minerals that all end up in the production of a smartphone. And a lot of the times these minerals are coming from conditions that have like either large kind of environmental impact or social impact. So DRC was conflict minerals, predominantly cobalt. And essentially, like, what was happening was that you would have like guerrilla militants that would take certain mines by force, and then mine what was in those mines, and then sell the cobalt on the black market, and then use the funds of what they were selling it for to finance their war efforts. And then on top of that, not only do you have like conflict minerals, but behind that you've got maybe kind of corrupt activities that are happening, maybe child labor, maybe kind of really, really dangerous conditions. And so Fairphone made a documentary being like, look, like, this is what's happening. Yeah. You've all got smartphones, and this is what's happening in terms of one of the like key minerals, key materials that are ending up in a smartphone in the DRC, and no one's talking about this. So the documentary came out and received like, you know, naturally like a high amount of praise in terms of be like, look, great that this is being looked at. Yeah. But Fairphone's philosophy was like, well, it's all very well, you know, putting the spotlight on this and making films about it, but like, if we really want to have impact, we need to be in the industry. And from a personal perspective, that's kind of why I joined Fairphone. It's also why I'm very enthusiastic about it, because when I found out about Fairphone for the first time, it felt that this was the first time that someone was doing sustainability or corporate social responsibility or ESG in the right way, in the sense that like, they were like, hey, we're an electronics company, and this is everything that's wrong with the electronics world. And these are all the problems, environmental and social, that are happening within this kind of industry. And our business model and our output is a kind of addressing and an attempt to try and change some of these problems. And I felt it was so refreshing. And I still find it really refreshing, because Fairphone is exactly that. It still says, these are the problems within Fairphone. These are the problems within the electronics industry. Yeah, and our output is an attempt to try and address some of these challenges. And so some of the challenges, for example, is that we do not use our products for long enough. So it's a very kind of like linear business model in that we are, at least from a smartphone perspective, audio maybe is a bit different, but from a smartphone perspective, like I feel like consumers have been very kind of programmed to use their device for a short period of time. So for example, yearly upgrades. And so what Fairphone does is be like, look, we need to produce a lot less, because if we're producing less devices, we're using less materials, we're using less energy. So we need to give the user the power and the possibility to hold on to their devices for as long as possible. So our devices are modular, so you can repair them. If you can repair them and you have access to spare parts, then you can use it for as long as possible.
All right.
How long do you keep spare parts for each model?
So the Fairphone Gen 6 that's just come out, from the launch, the spare parts will be available for 11 years. 11 years.
That's a long time.
But it's
that's insane.
it is insane, but also it's incredibly tricky, right? Because you have to find that balance in terms of the forecasting, and a shout out to a good friend of mine called Tina Marie, who does this in the sense that, who works at Fairphone as well, is that like what you obviously want to be able to have spare parts available, because you want to give the user the opportunity to fix their device. What you don't want to do is overstock on those spare parts.
I was just about to ask
so it's a complete waste. So it's like, it's a real kind of balancing act of being like, don't overproduce the spare parts so it becomes wasteful, but don't underproduce them. And like, that's a really, really difficult thing that I think people don't really understand, is that like, and it's happened, by the way, like we've got it wrong, where we've under forecasted, and like we've had some users that have been really annoyed to be like, well, your whole emphasis is modularity and I can't get hold of this piece.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And it's not like we're doing it through evil, like on purpose. It's just like it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Have you considered, or perhaps you're already doing it, using spare parts from returned items to
no, definitely
supply?
Yeah, that's something that we've done. So we now have what was used to called the after sales team is now our kind of I can't remember. They'll get really angry if they watch this, but it's like
turn it off if you're watching.
It's called I think they're called the circular economy team. So no longer just after sales, but circular economy team.
Yeah.
And they've worked on a variety of different projects where they've looked at taking back previous Fairphones to be able to dismantle the phones and then be able to use them from a spare part perspective.
Oh, nice.
So, should we address the question that we had before? Oh, you've written it down. Perfect. Yeah, I actually asked Bachman to...
we have a lot of good questions and good answers, so I'm trying to keep up with noting. We can start with the China questions. Why are you producing in China?
Yeah, good question. So, it's not the first time we've had this type of question, and it definitely won't be the last time we have this question. And I think there's multiple variables and answers to this question. So the first thing is like, and it goes back to what I was saying in terms of like Fairphone really puts a spotlight on where there are issues. And so there are issues from a social and environmental perspective in terms of production. And a lot, and predominantly most production in terms of consumer electronics, especially in smartphone, is happening in China. And so if you've got a high amount of problems happening within that region, it's not beneficial in terms of systemic change to try and move away from there. I think it's beneficial, and that's what Fairphone philosophy is to go and tackle the problem at hand, to be like, look, this is where we see some of the biggest issues around about unfair wages, really long working hours, really dangerous working conditions, really unfavorable working conditions. Also, like these factories might be really kind of badly in terms of how they're run, like really badly run from an environmental perspective, not using renewable energies, or some of the toxins that they're using, some of the chemicals that they're using is like really bad from an environmental perspective. So first things first is like, we want to go where there are the biggest problems and where we can look at the biggest problems and try and tackle the biggest problems. The second thing is that actually from a kind of environmental perspective, because so many components are made and manufactured in China or in the surrounding areas in countries in Asia, it would be like really unsustainable to try and bring all of those different components into Europe to then assemble them there in Europe.
Right.
And I've seen certain vendors that have said we're going to manufacture in Europe, and I've not seen anyone do it. And I think it would be interesting. It would be interesting to do it, but for the reasons that I've just said, that is why we produce and we manufacture in China.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. We can start with the last because that's too hard to try to write down. So what happens when spare parts have become obsolete, when a technology like 4G, for example, gets phased out? Do you stop stocking parts mid that 11-year period, or do you try and find an alternative?
Good question. So it's actually just happened.
Yeah.
So the Fairphone 3, which came out in 2019, our objective was to support that for 5 years. It's now 2026, and actually we have just announced and sent a push notification to all Fairphone 3 users that we are no longer supporting the Fairphone 3 from a software perspective, and also some of the spare parts will eventually go out of stock. And so from our perspective, we're very happy and very proud that we were able to support the Fairphone 3 2 years longer than we had originally hoped. Right. And then it goes back to what I said before. It's that balancing act of not overstocking from a spare parts perspective, and essentially being able to give them that ability. And it's kind of like a bit of a thin line, right? So nobody, and we spoke about this when you came to Amsterdam, is like, at no point have we ever tried to stimulate Fairphone 5 users to move on to Gen 6. The Fairphone 3 was the first time that we ever kind of really, and are really kind of being like, hey, look, if you want to move to the Gen 6 after, by the way, potentially having this phone for 6 or 7 years. And so it was really interesting watching it from a company perspective to see what would be the stance that we take on this, because it was the first time that it kind of really happened. But it does happen, right? Eventually, devices, you will want to get or look for a new device. Right. What we're trying to say is like, don't be doing that on a yearly or 2 yearly basis. It should be much, much, much more than that. But 5 to 6 to 7 years, then it becomes understandable.
Yeah. Jag ska do a quick one in Swedish. Om ni precis har kommit in så är det här Luke från Fairphone. Det är en nederländsk mobiltillverkare som fokuserar på hållbara och reparerbara mobiler som tillverkas på ett ansvarstagande sätt. De har riktigt schyssta, framförallt deras senaste Gen 6, alltså The Fairphone Gen 6 har blivit väldigt populär, finns att köpa på ine.se och vi kommer att droppa på den idag. Skittrevlig mobil i mellanklassen. Så det vi helt enkelt gör nu är att svara på frågor och försöka få ut så mycket information som möjligt från Luke, som är han kan väldigt mycket om Fairphone för han har jobbat där i 9 år.
Ja. Yeah. Och jag vill passa på
och
tipsa lite snabbt. Vi kanske kan få en länk här, men här har ni också alla produkter på hemsidan och vi har precis släppt lite dels nyhetsartiklar men även lite videos som man kan gå in och kika på. Man kan läsa lite nu under tiden och kanske kika på lite videos.
Användarrecensioner är bra, för det har ändå varit många användarrecensioner på telefonen. 26 stycken med väldigt bra snittbetyg. De har blivit väldigt populära väldigt snabbt, så kan spana in dem ifall ni funderar på ny mobil i framtiden. Ja. But returning to the questions that we haven't talked about. One was, are you considering a pro model? The person in questions liked the phone, but was more of a high-end user, looking for more performance and stuff like that. Will you stick to the upper mid-range, or are you considering?
I think like as any kind of vendor, we're always exploring like what is it that like users want. So I think what's like Fairphone's philosophy is that we want to inspire the industry to act more responsibly by establishing a market for ethical electronics. So what does that kind of mean in real English? It means that basically the more Fairphone grows, the more we are able to have more Fairphone users, the more people are aware of Fairphone, the more we believe that the industry is going to look at what we're doing and try and replicate it. Because what Fairphone is doing is, it's like none of what we're doing is a secret. It's very, very kind of open. It's very, very transparent in terms of our business model, in terms of what we're about, in terms of how we make these phones. So we will kind of always be looking at what is going to help take Fairphone to the next level. And I think like we don't have the luxury in terms of being quite a small vendor that we can't do every single kind of segment within the market. At the moment, the Fairphone Gen 6 is, as you've said, it's kind of like mid-high range. I think good value for money for what it is. But yeah, I think we're always exploring. So that's kind of a long answer to maybe not a specific answer, but it's kind of what I'm allowed to say at the moment, basically.
Yeah, okay. E-ink, is that anything you've ever considered? Was a previous question that's long gone now.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what e-ink is actually.
It's like, for e-readers. We've seen...
okay.
There is it TCL that does e-ink for mobile phones. So it's like a combination of e-reader and a mobile phone in one.
So we get asked,
because that would also like serve your purpose to make a mobile do more than like another feature to replace the e-reader. You know?
So we get asked a lot. When are you going to do a tablet, or when are you going to do a laptop, or when
gaming
are you going to do a
console?
smartwatch?
I want to see one.
Say that again, sorry.
I want to see a gaming.
Oh, gaming.
console.
Yeah, okay, a fair game. But in honesty, and for the record, like I work in our sales team, right? I'm not in our product team. But it's the electronics industry is incredibly difficult. It's incredibly complex. I think it's great already that we've moved into audio as well, but to sort of obviously we want to scale. The objective is Fairphone is to scale and to grow, and we don't classify ourselves as a smartphone company. We're a consumer electronics company. But I think what you don't want to do, and this is a very kind of personal, at least from my perspective, personal professional answer, is that like you wouldn't want to dilute the efforts that you're making, because it has taken years to build the knowledge that we have on the smartphone and then recently on audio. And so if you were to start doing multiple different categories of products, I would worry about how you could sort of stay on that kind of sustainable level. But there is no reason, because of Fairphone's very, very transparent business model, why other companies can't do exactly what we're doing in their category. Yeah. And that's what we want to happen.
Nice. And also, let me see. There was one, just more of a casual question.
Okay.
How do you find Sweden?
Great question. I really like it. Yeah, I think it helps.
That's not what you said before.
I knew you'd bully me on this stream. I've been here, to explain my role, maybe. I look after Fairphone's growth in Sweden and the Nordic region via partners. So it's my responsibility to look after our relationship with Innit and then other partners across Sweden and the Nordic region. So that means that I get to come to Sweden every 2 or 3 months. I really like it. It sounds like I'm hesitating, but basically neither of you two were here, but I came to, so the procurement manager in it is a guy called Martin, so your colleague Martin. Yeah. I came to see Martin for a business meeting in February, and it was super snowy, and I was staying down in Gothenburg, and it's a sort of 20-minute, 30-minute taxi ride. And I swear the taxi driver was like treating it like a Formula 1 race. I was petrified. I had because at some point, I think I was sat in the middle with both hands like on the thing. So I can't say that that's definitely my experience of Sweden has improved, and definitely improved yesterday, because I went to my first Swedish sauna.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I should be a bit hesitant about this, because I think I'm aware that some of my colleagues are watching this, and I'm technically on a work trip, but I had 3 hours to kill before my train. And I was like, I could probably I should technically do some work now, or I can do some work when I'm on this 4-hour train. So I've got some time to kill. So I went to a sauna, which was an incredibly... sorry, we can get back to more...
No.
Yeah.
I'm just
I don't want to bang on about it.
I'm just trying to catch them all. So sorry if I'm distracting.
No, come on. Yeah, no, I want to hear it.
Yeah, okay. So like, it was... I kind of embarrassed myself a little bit, because I've only, obviously being a British guy, we're not really... Yeah, we don't have, well, we do have saunas, but they're not sort of naked saunas. And my only kind of naked sauna experience was in Germany. I went to a place called Baden-Baden, and I went with a friend of mine called Daniel, and it was like, we were both like, I'll do it if you do it. Let's just do it. And so we did it, and then we were in a sauna, completely naked, and it's meant to be essentially a sort of relaxing environment. And this woman, fully dressed, clearly working where we were, basically came in and just sort of shouted at me. And I was like, in German, so I don't speak German. So I was like, I don't know what she's saying. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. I didn't understand you could even do a sauna wrong, but like, apparently I'm doing it wrong and I'm getting shouted at. This is really embarrassing. She eventually left. And then what I thought was the experience was to then jump into a cold plunge pool. And I did that, but I understand now that the etiquette is that you're meant to shower first. So I went from the sauna, jumped into this cold plunge pool, again, sort of swimming around naked. And then this German man started shouting at me, but at least I kind of understood that, because he was pointing at the shower and like really loud German, being like, I imagine he was like, you should have showered before you got into the plunge pool. And I was like, okay, I've literally been here for 25, 30 minutes. And I've been shouted at twice. So I was adamant that I wasn't going to get it wrong at this place yesterday.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it makes sense.
And so I was like, at what point should I be naked or not naked? And they were like, no, please keep your shorts on the entire time. And because I was being so specific about it, I think she just thought that I just wanted to be naked. I was like, look, I just don't want to get it wrong. And she was like, so she went to the point, she was like, promise me you'll keep your swim shorts on. I was like, no, I promise. So that's my experience of Sweden, is that I've had a really nice time in a sauna, and I've been in a really sort of horrific taxi ride in the snow. I hope that answers the question.
Challenge. I love it. That's amazing. I've never actually thought about that. Yeah, because we do have like the gyms has sauna, the public bathroom, the bathing has saunas as well usually, but it's never barely never like naked sauna. It's usually with it depends on, I guess.
Yeah, there are some
I think it's a very culture question, to be honest.
Yeah, different parts. I know of a few like along the coast that are like proper old school saunas. But yeah.
Amazing. Oh my god. Yeah, I love it.
Let me see. Spare parts at Inet.
Good question.
Question mark.
Yeah, so it's not something I've pushed. So again, really from a sort of professional perspective, is that obviously Fairphone is a modular device. In the industry, from a reseller perspective, I'm seeing some of these comments. In the industry, you'll have a distributor and you'll have a reseller, and they will never want to have stock for too long. And if they do have stock for a long time, they will be kind of asking you, be like, I've had this stock in for 6 months now, it hasn't sold, what are you doing about it? I want to send it back to you, or I want to sort of like, I want you to sort of reduce the price of it. So what I have done from a sales perspective is that I haven't really pushed in the spare parts of the Gen 6. So it's not Inet that isn't selling the spare parts. It's me being like, it's not necessary to have them yet. Because the device has been out only for a year, it's not like we don't see a huge, like basically the sales of spare parts are predominantly for the previous devices.
Yeah.
What I might do now is, because the device in June will have been on the market for a year, is ask Martin to maybe take sort of 2 of each one, but like a very, very small number. But that doesn't mean they're not available. So on fairphone.com, the spare parts are available. So that's why you won't see them. And it's kind of like a conscious choice that I wouldn't have wanted them to sit in the warehouse. But some of my colleagues might challenge me on that and be like, hey, Fairphone's philosophy is modularity. Every reseller who sells Fairphone should at least have the minimal amount of stock. So it's there. It's just I haven't quite pushed it yet, basically.
Okay.
Is a really honest answer.
Yeah. Does the Fairphone 6 have room for both 2 SIM cards and a memory card, or is it one of the slots a combo?
No. So it's 1 physical SIM, 1 eSIM, and then the SD card is sort of here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes. Linux for phones. Is there anything that you've explored?
Again, plug to our impact report. It has a list of all the particular OSs that are available in terms of the device being open source. I'd like to think that Linux is on that list, but we'd have to check to see if it is.
And then there was AI. What's your take on AI as a company?
Good question. So the device runs on Android. So we have Gemini, which is a feature on the device. But AI is obviously a hot topic from both a social and environmental perspective.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it. So in terms of like Fairphone's official stance is that from an Android perspective, it has Gemini, but that's where we cut off basically. And I think it needs more exploration to give kind of more an official answer to that. But essentially that's it.
Because I'm guessing there's a lot of environmental problems that are spawned from the AI craze.
Potentially. I mean, like we've had a lot of questions around AI and there is enough potential news articles around it. I'm just seeing that I'm being schooled for my pronunciation of sauna. Sorry. Sauna.
Sauna. Bastu kan du säga istället.
Ja.
We tried teaching him some Swedish. Can you...
Aha.
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 Yeah, that's kind of it, really.
Oh. Yeah, but you have to do all the different versions.
Aha.
He was just shocked of how many different types of aha we said to each other during the trip, and we tried to explain like how much you can say with like the intonation of like aha. Aha.
Aha.
Yeah. But you did say your name in Swedish?
I've forgotten. I knew you'd ask me this.
Jag heter...
Jag heter Luke.
Ja, perfekt.
Ja, tack.
Där så. Där satt den.
Nej, lagom. Yeah, that's a classic one.
Have you tried Swedish whiskey?
I haven't tried Swedish whiskey. I had a Falcon, which is, I believe, your lager.
Yeah, it's one of the
we do have a lot of beer here in Gothenburg, so I felt kind of bad because we haven't restocked our beer fridge recently, so we'll have to figure that out later in the evening for sure.
Okay, well, Jonathan has purposely not driven, so I'm hoping that we can...
Yes, exactly. This is a true story.
Sorry, not to out you.
No, it's totally fine. I left the car at home, so I won't do anything illegal. Not that I usually do that. We did speak about being in prisons before, so I don't know. It's just stuck on my mind for so long, and I've been to the Brazilian prison once. yeah, that was not fun. Question about Fairphone 5. Have one that always restarts after 10 minutes on charge and don't know what to do. Have tried several different charges, but still the same problem. I guess either you could contact our support, or I guess you guys also have a support.
I think you'd be better off contacting them, because we didn't start selling a Fairphone until the Gen 6, so we're mostly familiar with that one.
Oh yeah, sorry,
So-
that's totally correct, actually. Yeah, and there's again, there's been a lot of questions on how. I guess it's like several questions. There's one question in regards to like people want to get the Fairphone, but they want, you know, better cameras or, you know, better CPU or stuff like that. And on top of that, I guess the other question would be like, if you want to upgrade your phone to a better camera and so on, like how would you do that? You know, like you want the Fairphone, but it's like not good enough for.
So there's sort of multiple questions within.
Yeah,
it, right?
of course.
So the upgradable one we tackled with potentially the camera, right? So the modularity allows itself maybe to upgradability, but essentially the main purpose of why the device is a modular is for the repairability element.
Right.
In terms of like better CPU and things like that, like, or better performance, so Javier, who was invited on the show, I think in November or December.
Last
year. One of the things that he said is like, look, like if you are looking to use the device to game for a long period of time, this isn't the device for you.
No.
Like it's and we're not trying to sort of label ourselves as that. It's essentially a mid-range device that behaves in a way for you to use it throughout the day in a reasonable manner. I'm obviously quite biased, but this is my work device, which is something I find completely absurd, in the sense that someone has a work phone and a personal phone. Like for me, that's so wasteful. I guess maybe if your work is like dealing with really hypersensitive data, then it's completely understandable that like work will mandate you.
There's always examples.
Yeah, exactly. There's always exceptions. But for me, like it's crazy to have two phones, and this for me is perfect. The battery lasts a very, very long time. I'm able to use social media. I'm able to sort of send my emails. So yeah, I think it's, for me, it's a very good mid-range device. And on top of that, if using Fairphone, you're able to support a high amount of the mission that we're hoping to achieve.
Yeah.
But like I said, it doesn't label itself as the premium device. Like, we're just not there yet.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, it's a good phone. Like it has a good camera. It has the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3. Yeah. So it's not like a shoddy device. It's just not competing with the top end stuff, but it's also not competing with those types of devices in price. So it's plenty phone for most people. Just to clarify.
How many in the chat does use a Fairphone product? Either the phone or the headphones, for example. I've seen a couple of comments. The latest one here on Twitch is saying, "I'm so happy with the Fairphone 6 battery. It's crazy good. I don't even charge it at night anymore because I don't need to charge it every day like my old phone." So yeah, that's obviously. I was not leaning into it being a bad phone, but that was one of the questions that we did have, and yeah, I mean we did get one sample here when it was launched, and we did a video, or did we have a video? I can't remember.
A short video, yeah.
Yeah, a short video.
And then we used one for our trip as well.
Can I add a small anecdote to that?
Yeah.
So. I joined Fairphone for the first time in 2017. So professionally and also personally, I've been a user of Fairphone 2, Fairphone 3, Fairphone 3 Plus, Fairphone 4. I've never used a Fairphone 5. I actually left the organization and then came back, and then Fairphone Gen 6. During the Fairphone 3, Fairphone 4 era, I'm 37. So a high amount of my friends have got married, and I've been invited to their weddings. And obviously when you're at a wedding, you want to take lots of pictures. And whenever I would take my Fairphone out, people would be like, no, which is obviously like really insulting and like really harsh to deal with, that people would be like, not the Fairphone. And what I'd like to say is that I was at a wedding in January, and we used my Gen 6.
Right.
And someone who was part of that friendship group that was usually the kind of, the ringleader of always being like, not the Fairphone, was like, hey, what phone is that? That's really good. And when we did like another like group photo, they were like, hey, you use the Fairphone. So like, I definitely feel it's got a lot better.
Yeah.
And I can, like, again, I'm obviously biased because I work for Fairphone, but I also feel that because of my experience having used so many of their devices, like it's really refreshing and it's really energizing to have seen like the improvements from a product level and a quality level.
Yeah, and it shows in sales. If you've increased 40%,
yeah, no, exactly,
it's popular for a reason.
No, 100%.
And yes, we will have a drop today.
Yeah, we will have a special prize for sure.
Stay tuned.
It's a very good question. I want to switch from my old iPhone 11, which is due for a change soon since it's falling apart. How much work would that be technically, like apps and photos and so on?
Yeah. So I can give you the sort of personal answer. I like before, and it's funny, Martin and I were talking about this. I used an iPhone SE before I went to the Fairphone 2. And I've had so many people, whenever I've pitched Fairphone, they're like, this is such a great idea, but like, I'm in the Apple ecosystem, I can't switch. Like, I mean, one, that's a massive, huge compliment to how Apple have like managed to get people to really think that they can't change like whatsoever. But it's, what I say is like, it's muscle memory. It's literally, that's it. For the first week or 2 weeks, it will feel weird because you're used to an Apple, and like they obviously, to try and compete with each other, try and make it as different as possible. They don't try, they purposely don't copy each other, and so it's just muscle memory, and then it's fine. So like, as someone who went from Apple to Fairphone, it is just that 2 week period where it's just a bit funny because it's just like different kind of controls. But it's like using someone else's shower. Like, you know, it's weird at first. But maybe I should stop using showers in this one. It's a big example.
Okay, sure.
Always return to the shower. Open wound. But I can also talk from experience. Both Google and Apple have become very good at incentivizing people to switch cam. So they've made software that does the process like super simple.
I was just about to speak like, if you're talking like purely photos and apps and stuff like that, there is, you know, tools to transfer your phone, either if it's an Android or iPhone, to, you know, Fairphone in this case. And you can do vice versa, obviously. But yeah, it's super easy. I did it recently with a family member of mine, from iPhone to Android, so it's super easy. I have no idea what that means. If Luke spends time with Molle, he will become a getborgare and blågul. It's a special form. I have no. I guess he's trying to like. I don't know if it's the way I speak in Swedish. It's very an accent, but yeah. You'll have to explain more on that one. There was another question in mind. I'll bring it up here. I think it was. Will it be good prices? Yes, there will be good prices. And it will not only be on the phone. We will have more of the Fairphone products. I think we teased about it in the.
I know we have at least the Gen 6, the phone, and the headphones, the over-ear XL. 2025 model, the latest.
Right.
And I think it's 1990 for the headphones and 49.90 for the phone.
That's actually a really interesting question. not sure about the use case, but is it possible to use the Fairphone 6 without a battery, powering it only through the cable?
No.
No. Okay. I'm completely uneducated on the matter. Sorry for a possible stupid question. It's all good. You can always ask
a stupid question.
Yeah, oh, that's why we're here. Literally why we're here. So just ask the question. Repairability, does that apply for broken screen glass too? Sensible for kids who tend to drop their phones.
Yeah, so the device has 12 spare parts. Tempted whether I should try and name all of them, but like the main ones, so like 3 different cameras, the screen, the battery, the USB charger, the microphone, and essentially, like if we look at historically, what have we sold more of? Number 1 is the battery, but then number 2 is the screen, because people will drop their phone and the screen will crack, and that's like, you know, another. I spoke about why I think it's really silly that people have a work phone and a personal phone. It's the same. Like people will have like a cracked screen, and they'll think that they need to buy a whole new device. And the reason that they think that is because actually, it's really difficult to get that screen repaired, and also really expensive. Sometimes it'll cost more to have it repaired than it is. To buy a new one. So Fairphone, the screen is I think €90 and will take you on average 10 to 15 minutes to replace. And yes, thank you, Blue Poor Wolf. We do, as an accessory, also have a screen protector which you can use.
Are materials in a Fairphone different from usual phones, or is it about using recycled materials?
Good question, and a very complex answer. So you have about 60 different minerals that will end up in the production of a smartphone. And what Fairphone has done is that we've created a kind of 2030 materials roadmap. So we've looked at those 60 materials and minerals, and obviously being quite a small organization, like we can't work on every single mineral. And some of those minerals actually like come from places that maybe don't need as much attention as minerals like cobalt, for example. And so we have selected 23 minerals where either the extraction of those minerals has like a high environmental impact, and not just from a sort of carbon intensity, but maybe its impact on water usage or its impact on soil, but also from a human rights perspective, like is that mineral highly associated with corruption conditions or child labor or really kind of dangerous conditions. And so we've got those 23 minerals, and that's what we define as our focus materials. So within the Fairphone Gen 6, we have 23 focus materials that we are looking at, and either some of those materials are recycled or they're from what we call like fairer materials. So they've been sourced in a way that we are working on a program or initiatives to address some of those problems that I've just mentioned. And what's really nice is that yesterday we were able to confirm that in terms of the Gen 6, so this smartphone, over 50% of the weight of this device is either using recycled materials or fairer materials, which is a really massive thing within the industry to be able to do.
Here's a low-hanging fruit. Isn't there a new EU law that's coming that says that all phones should be user repair, like change battery, blah blah blah? Right to repair. I said low-hanging fruit because you're a contributor to that initiative.
So this law actually came out in 2023, but there were a lot of news articles that came out yesterday about it, and essentially yes, so it's part of the kind of like eco design principle in the sense that the law mandates that that smartphones after 2027 should be able to have a replaceable battery, that you don't need special tooling or shouldn't be glued together, which in principle is a massive, massive win in terms of right to repair, longevity. However, and unfortunately there's always a however when it comes to kind of EU legislation, is that there are loopholes behind it. And the loopholes is that if your device has an IP67 rating, so that's kind of like very, very high anti-dust or anti-water resistant, it is exempt from that rule. And then the other exemption is if your device has wouldn't that be? Yeah, so I'll get to that question actually, because it's funny because Martin said exactly the same thing. If the device after 1,000 charging cycles is 80% still at its sort of functional ability, then it's also exempt. And so essentially some of the vendors will find a way to be exempt. So it was a kind of, at least my perspective is like, it should be a massive celebratory moment. But it's not, because there are those kind of, those loopholes. Right. And that's part of like a bigger thing that is a massive, massive problem within the industry. So one of the things that I strongly believe in is, unlike, essentially to drive systemic change, you want to be able to have an impact not just on consumerism, but you want to have an impact on legislation. Yeah. And some of the smaller organizations that want to champion changes within legislation and changes within law don't necessarily always have the resource to be able to be in those kind of conversations about what is driving change. So essentially like lobbyism and lobbyists. Yeah. And so for me, that's one of the things that I really despise about the industry, is that there are these massive, massive organizations that have budgets to be able to place lobbyists, people who are full-time working on ensuring that law doesn't change in a way that suits their business model. Yeah. And it's a massive problem, and it's a real shame. But I can talk about it for hours, so I won't. And it's more of a kind of like that will be 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Yeah. So I'll stop myself.
It's gone now, but there was also a question about Moreno. Why is it more expensive?
The device?
Yeah.
I'd like to think, I think when you looked at Fairphone 2, that device was... Sorry, maybe allow me to articulate this better. I think one of Fairphone's big objectives have been that, like, maybe from a tech perspective, the bar is here, and then the price has been here. And then that has probably had an impact on our ability to grow. Right. I think with the Fairphone Gen 6, that gap has been able to reduce. And I think a lot of people kind of automatically assume that because of what we are doing from a sustainability perspective, from a social impact perspective, that's why the device is more expensive. It's not actually. The device is more expensive because we're a really, really small organization. And essentially, you need to be producing millions upon millions of devices in order to take advantage of economies of scale to be able to sort of drive that price down. And so that's why it might be perceived as slightly more expensive than
because I think the question was Android versus iOS.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Because there's a price difference. Why is that? Is that just a small volume, perhaps?
I think, at least from Fairphone's perspective, is the economies of scale perspective. Is it's difficult from that perspective.
And then there were questions about the IP rating. Repairability-wise, well, first of all, do you have any water resistance in your phones?
So our device has an IP55 rating.
Yeah.
So you couldn't keep it underwater for like 30 minutes or an hour, but I'm not sure why you'd want to do that.
Yeah.
But it can resist like rain or being sprayed at, and also dust from that perspective. And that's kind of, and hopefully your community will be interested in the videos that have been done, because one of the videos that was done was with our founder, who obviously has a huge impact on the production and design of the device. And what he mentioned was that it's a trade-off.
Yeah, right.
In terms of like, if the device is super high IP rating, then it's going to be difficult to make it modular, because you'd have to glue it apart and then you wouldn't be able to repair it. So
Yeah.
it's design choices that we make. And for us, we believe modularity gives way to the ability to hold on to it for longer.
Yeah, makes sense. Can it survive Flume Rider, the water ride in the amusement parks? Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm pretty sure it can. Unless,
Yeah, it should.
Unless you have really bad luck. I mean, there was
or
a
if you
case,
tape it at the front or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that just slams it.
yeah, I mean, there was a case where a woman literally jumped out the boat to because she panicked. So
Yeah, but we should hope that our customers won't do that
I'm just saying,
or
there's a
throw it in the
possibility.
water.
Yeah.
But
We still have to, obviously I want to take as many questions, but
Yeah.
we've glossed over kind of why we're sat here, and also like how the kind of idea, which I'd love to get into, but
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble here, but am I allowed to go to the loo?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go ahead.
but only if you mute your mic.
Okay, yeah.
No, we'll do it for you. We'll do it for you. It's totally fine. Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah,
You go. Yeah.
Ja, men då kan vi passa på att prata lite svenska.
Det kan vi göra. Och,
Om ni precis kommit in så är det Fairphone-tema idag.
Ja.
Vi har tävling som kommer senare.
Ja.
Vi har drops, så jag vet inte vad klockan är ens. Men,
klockan är 18:10 och jag har suttit här lite i bakgrunden för vi har haft det är nog lite det. Men 18:30 så kommer vi köra drops. Vi kommer även köra lite tävlingar innan efter det tror jag. Vi kör efter tävlingar efter tror jag.
Ja.
Det blir bra. Och det var lite roligt. Jag frågar honom typ så här. Luke frågade så här bara, vad vill vi köra för tävlingar? Eller vill du köra för tävlingar? Och han bara, ja, men vi kan nog lösa någonting. Ja, bra, för vi har skrivit i vårt marknadsföring att vi ska köra tävlingar. Annars hade ju vi löst det så. Men,
Ja.
Så tvinga honom till att köra tävlingar. Så det kommer bli nice. Och förhoppningsvis så ska det gå toppen. Vi har förberett allting med... Det har ändå gått väldigt bra med drops det senaste. Känns som att cashen där har fungerat svinbra. Fungerar Backes mycket bättre nu än innan.
Ja, vi hoppas att vi bytte det och så. Ja. Ifall ni inte, om ni är supersena in, så Fairphone tillverkar framförallt mobiler men också hörlurar som är byggda i moduler kan man säga, så att de är enkla att reparera och underhålla och framförallt förlänga livslängden på genom exempelvis byta batteri. Och ja, det går att byta batteri även på hörlurarna. De har till och med in-ear med utbytbara batterier, ser så udda ut. Att man liksom kan öppna en liten in-ear och byta batteri på dem. Men det är ju så här guld värt för någon som vill behålla sin enhet under längre tid och liksom få mer värde för det. Spendera en 500 på ett nytt batteri till mobil istället för flera tusen på ersättaren efter några år är ju ändå en ganska bra USP. Och något som jag personligen tycker de liksom förtjänar mycket beröm för, deras liksom inställning till konsumenten utöver allt annat de gör med liksom, mänskliga rättigheter, miljötänk och så vidare. Så även ifall man krasst sett skiter i sånt så är det liksom en bra mobil som du själv kan reparera. Så det är det vi säljer sen på droppet.
Sure. All good.
Och man kan själv reparera, det är superenkelt. Man behöver bara en sådan.
Should we actually do that later? I'm also going to head into the bathroom, but then we can start opening up the phone.
Yeah,
but is this your personal device?
It's fine. I mean, it's meant to be open,
Okay.
so...
I don't know. Well, we'll see.
You're going to have to be stable on your hands, Molly.
It'll break it, you know.
You won't get back to Amsterdam without it. Yeah, so we're gonna open it up in a short while. Do we have any more questions for Luke now that he's back from the loo? Did it all work out?
Yes. No,
You found the
mic was turned
sauna?
off. Yeah, no, exactly.
And well, to repeat, we got a question: will we sell spare parts? And for now, no, because we as a reseller have a conundrum where we don't want to keep stock for too long, and if you commit to a phone having spare parts available for 11 years, that's very old stock to our eyes, so it's better to have it centralized, thus far at least, so they keep the spare parts, and you have like fair prices for them. They're not expensive.
Yeah. No, exactly. So like, no, the philosophy of the spare parts is that we don't want to be making profit on them, because our philosophy is that we want people to be able to access them and use them as easily as possible. So yeah.
Here's a good question. It's in Swedish.
Okay.
So, speaking of batteries, let's say if I bought a device, a Fairphone Gen 6, and I also purchase extra batteries and have them like laying around for future use, will they degrade while being inactive, or it's only through cycles?
It's only through cycles. It's only through usage. I mean, if you buy it as a spare part, it will come in packaging, so you can keep it in your packaging. I think like it's interesting. So I personally really enjoy going hiking, and I've done quite a few through hikes. So that's where you're hiking through multiple, like basically hiking for multiple days. And so the Fairphone 4, which is what I used for the sort of couple of through hikes that I've done, was great, because you could just take the back cover off and then have the phone. And so I had like 3 batteries on me, which were great, because, you know, if ever I got into an emergency or the weather would change or XYZ, like I was able to just change them. Yeah. The Gen 6 doesn't have that, right? So you have to take with the screwdriver, you need to take the back cover off. And the reason behind that was it was a design decision. And there's, you know, a variety of reasons why, right? So we want Fairphone to be adopted from a mass market perspective. And one of the things that we saw from our research when we were designing the phone is that people, when they saw the modularity, or consumers, when they saw the modularity, they thought, I'm going to have to repair this device really quickly. And so it was kind of like this mindset that people saw that it was modular, and they were kind of afraid. And so what we've done with the Fairphone is like, it's still modular, but we've made it far more compact. Yeah. So as a hiker, it's a shame that I can't sort of carry batteries on me, but as someone that wants the device to be as compact and to be as like longer lasting as possible, I'm glad that they took this decision, because that sort of compact element and not being able to take the back cover off will basically extend the life of the phone. Yeah. And you have a cover on now. Yes, I do. It's slimmer than it appears. Yeah. So we can take that off. You can sort of. Yeah. So it's a normal phone basically, whereas before it was a bit chunkier. Yeah.
It's a normal phone. That's a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
So.
I'm getting schooled on my pronunciation.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's, it
kind of ironic being in Sweden being like, yeah. Will Fairphone do tablets? You spoke a bit about that earlier, but for now you're focusing on your main
smartphones and audio. Exactly. Yeah.
But as you keep growing, because you've added the headphones, for instance, you might grow into other areas as well. But for now, you have a lot of.
Say never.
Yeah.
I guess you've answered all these questions.
Not sure if we got everyone. No, Luke, have you been on the Sci-Fi Festival? If not, any music festivals you can recommend in your country?
Yes. Shout out to my brother-in-law, who runs a festival called Fire in the Mountain. And this is a festival in the valleys of Wales. and it's this wonderful combination of folk music during the day and then dance kind of EDM music at night.
Really?
So like very, very small festival, 2,000 people in the valleys of Wales, fire in the mountain. I went last year. Well, I mean, I've been 6 times, but yeah, I went last year with some Fairphone colleagues because I kept talking about it, and they were like, "What is this bizarre festival that you keep talking about? We have to go and see it." And so we did. So yeah, fire in the mountain is one, and then Dutch festivals. There are a lot, many shrooms. I mean, look, I'm not going to get into that question.
Yeah.
We
The
got
next one
a
is coming up
few,
soon in May.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's always, yeah.
and there have been a couple of questions about the drops.
The drops, yes.
The drops?
There, it will be 6:30. We'll have drops. Hopefully, there won't be any technical issues. It feels like I've jinxed it now, but let's hope for the best. And we'll also have competition. We have not yet to run any competition, but there will be a competition. Just hang tight, and we'll get there. That's not a question. Everyone's like, competition.
Should we talk about why?
Oh right,
how we
yeah,
ended
totally
up
forgot
here,
about it. Yeah. Let's talk about it. How did it start?
Our bond.
Yeah, exactly. It was. So basically, we have these education events each 2 times a year. We're actually having one tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, like a conference. But
Yeah,
we invite the.
I asked Martin
vendors.
why we weren't invited. He was like, "Because we're sick of you. We've done way too much with Fairphone."
We have to go at least 2 years now, like a cycle of a Fairphone.
Name of mountain impossible to pronounce. Fire in the mountain.
Yes.
Yeah. Continue.
So anyway, we have these educators. So Fairphone was there to do, I guess, like an introduction of your company to our to iNet, and also obviously talk about the new Fairphone. I think I can't remember exactly if we. So usually how it goes, we have like we start at the morning and we do have like conference groups basically. So tomorrow there's going to be like 4 or 5 groups, and we're going to go on different tours with different companies, and they're going to have like presentations, and then we have lunch, we have some more, and then we have some sort of like mini exhibition where we can try out new products and such things like that. And then later on in the evening we have dinner and stuff like that. And I can't remember if we ended up having like sitting together on the dinner, or if we met up somewhere along the outs.
I was with my colleague Luzon, and so we were there obviously during the day, and then we were late to the dinner. And so we got there and like everybody was sitting. Yeah. There was like no free tables. And so we arrived, and then Martin was like, okay, like you guys can't sit on your own. So he came and joined us, and then everyone was like, oh, we'll come and join Fairphone. Like they seem like a fun table. So it kind of like our table got like bigger and bigger and bigger. And then what I remember is that you had a mouse mat. Or you'd won a mouse mat.
Right, yeah, that's...
And you wouldn't shut up about it.
Usually happens.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Won't shut up about it.
It's something I like, okay, gonna be, well, when I drink a little bit and something happens, I will make sure everyone knows about it.
Repeat that.
Yes. Yeah. Continue with the story.
Yeah, so I think, let's say like some alcohol had been had. You had your mouse mat. You were super excited about it. We only really knew Martin and Marcus. And so it was really fun to meet like quite a lot of the different like Init team and sort of the different departments. And because the store, like people who were working in the stores were there as well. Shout out Stockholm store, because I was told they were like the funnest, so I went to go and sit with them for a bit of the evening, although they were like, okay, you can go now.
Sounds like Stockholm.
And then I think we ended up in a bar, and then one of the things that we really appreciate or think that is really cool about In It is just like how great you guys are about creating content. Like, I think, and for someone who sees all of the different partners that we have across Europe and sees the different ways in which they do things,
right.
I think In It is really a leader in terms of like what you're doing and the content that you're creating. And I think it's really special and it's really kind of commendable. And so this is very well articulated, but at the time I think it was like, you guys should come to Amsterdam and film it. And I remember, I think it was the three. Honestly, I think it was the three because we was a cigarette. I think there was like a like.
Yeah, I think it started. We started outside the venue, and then we went into the town. We went to Avenue, and we had a couple of beers and drinks over there, and that's how it started. And I'm pretty sure at that point I was like, you know, this dude is just drunk. He's just like, yeah, sure, dude, that sounds super. But at the time I was like, yeah, I mean, obviously that would be, you know, amazing. And I think I can't remember how like we started talking about content. I'm not sure if it was due to, you know, our YouTube channel or if it was, you know, the live stream in general. But we started talking about that. And
so Liaison, like we were kind of really caught up in the idea of like you guys coming to Amsterdam, like and that originally that was like the name of the project. We were just like, In It does Amsterdam. And then we took it to our brand team and they were like, guys, you can't just invite them to Amsterdam to get drunk. Like you need to like you need to like build it around. And obviously like that wasn't the main purpose. So what we then kind of turned it into is we're like, well, look, you know, going back to Fairphone's like original philosophy, right, is that we want to inspire the industry to act more responsibly. Yeah. And when we say, and when people hear that, they always just think that we're talking about other vendors, you know, Apple's or Samsung's or XYZ, not XY wife. Glad that you can moderate it. We also want to inspire organizations like yourself. Right. We want to show you that there is a completely other side to consumer electronics that actually people really should be thinking about and interested in. So we then were like, okay, well, obviously we'd love to hang out with you guys and come to Amsterdam. It would be a lot of fun, but it would be really interesting in terms of you guys as being, you know, people that really kind of understand products or really want to get into the ins and outs of products and have a community that are also really interested. We were like, look, come to Amsterdam because Amsterdam has a big influence on Fairphone, right? We you know, it's the HQ, it's where the company was founded, and actually the city does have a big influence on us as a company. Yeah. And so we were like, look, come and spend some time with us, meet some key people and just see what we're about as a company. And for me, we had dinner on the last night and it actually got quite emotional because again, we'd had a bit of booze, but like we were sort of talking about the highs and the lows. And I said, like, for me, it was really cool for a company because we do have people come visit us, but they'll come for a meeting. Yeah. They won't stay for 2 days. And like at no point during that time did we have a business meeting. It was the whole point of it was to really kind of understand us as an organization. And so we were really appreciative that an organization that works in consumer electronics would take such a big effort to come and send 4 people, sadly not 5.
Happens.
I wish. To send 4 people and really get to know us. And for that, like, I feel like I can speak on the behalf of Fairphone because we're incredibly grateful for that. Like, it's really cool. It's really cool.
No, definitely. I mean, I love the. I was reading that.
I was wondering why you were laughing. I was like, I feel like I've just said something quite serious there. I get it. Sure.
Yeah, for everyone else not watching Twitch, there was a comment saying next time you should go to the sauna together. Yeah, and yeah, I guess that's we do have a quite a famous sauna here in Gothenburg. It's like a sort of a sculpture building, and then you can rent it. It's like owned by the city, basically. So yeah, it's like a, I don't know, public sauna. Sounds very dirty, but
You don't have to shower there.
and there's water right beneath, so you're allowed to use the jump.
all the
You know?
boxes.
Yeah, it's a very easy process. But yeah, no, I really like the idea. Like, I mean, we had like obviously like the idea was very late night and everything, but it came through and it became like a proper thing. And I think at least for me, like sadly I didn't have the chance to join, but I mean, yeah, like the content that came out of it was spectacular. Like, if you haven't watched the video yet about Fairphone that we published on iNet YouTube channel, you really should do that. It's really good. I haven't had the chance to watch the interviews yet, actually.
No, we have like two more
recently,
like casual workshop stuff that are more fun. I have made a general and like, what is Fairphone with like B-roll from their offices and stuff like that. And then we have 3 interviews, one with one of your founders, one with the product designer, and one with the developer, who is, among other things, working on the moments, world moments, Fairphone moments. So please check those that content out.
Yes.
And yes, there will be drops momentarily.
Yes, exactly. I was actually about to say that we can actually wait to bring more questions. Because we're 1 minute away from
noted
having,
a couple of them. One we can do quick. Why do you have 3 colors? Since you focus on sustainability, shouldn't you focus on one?
I think it's that trade-off, right? So one of the trade-offs is, how do you reach a mass market audience?
Yeah.
So when Fairphone first started, there was one device and that was it. It was one SKU. But like, when you're trying to reach a wider audience, you need to cater for different tastes. And so the 3 colors that we have helps us do that. Although it's worth noting that the forest green, I think, is about 70% or 75% of our sales. Like, it's super popular. Yeah. So we forecasted that it would be quite popular at the beginning, but we didn't think that it would sustain that kind of like high level.
We were like instantly, oh my god, that color is great.
No, good.
Yeah. And how does fast charging affect the battery health? I also had it written up.
Yeah, so Fairphone Gen 6 doesn't support fast charging. So that, again, was a design decision. So
you have some fast...
No, none of our devices do. So like, the design decision around fast charging was like, it hasn't been as, in terms of like energy efficient as it could. It's got better. But when it sort of first came out and the first few years of it being out, it wasn't as energy efficient as it could have been. And so it wasn't something that we've done. I think the Fairphone 4 isn't fast charging. I don't think any of our devices, I'm pretty certain that none of our devices have been fast charging, but I could be proved wrong.
I'm just checking out, because we've listed it as the fast charging, but it might be that it's just
sorry, you know what? Sorry, I'm really sorry. I've got confused with wireless charging. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it does have fast charging. I was getting confused with wireless charging.
None of our wireless charging, you lose a lot of energy when you try and...
Ignore everything I've just said. It's complete rubbish. I thought we were talking about wireless charging. My apologies.
All right. With that said, we do have some campaign prices, and that's been some of the questions, like the price point. Well, here's your chance. So we have super good prices. We can actually drop the link right away because everything is working. In the past we had some problems with this, but yeah. Anyway, here we go. So we don't only have the phones, we also have the Fairbuds and the Fairbuds XL, so the in-ears and the headphones as well, and obviously the phone in all the different colors. So yeah, that doesn't. I don't think we've ever done this sort of campaign for Fairphone before.
No, you don't really do like super aggressive campaigns in that sense. So yeah, these are the prices. They are members exclusive, so you need to log in on anecdotes in order to see the correct price, and we will do them until midnight. So 23:59 is the last minute you can place an order for this price. Yeah.
And as far as I know, the phones might. I think we're doing like maybe 100 units, I think.
Yeah.
And for the rest, it's unlimited. So then you can buy as much as you want. Basically.
But it's one per person of each model.
I think for the phone, yes, but for the headphones, it's two.
Two. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Nice. Great drops. Already have the Fairphone 5 though, and I'm happy with it. Well,
Does your Fibubs it's spelled wrong, but it's spelled wrong in a funny way. Fairphone SL headphones press on your head, since I read that they are a bit small in size, the over-ear ones.
What's the question? Sorry.
How's the fit on the XL phone headphones? Are they how wide are they? Because our boss actually went and got one because Max, our boss, he went along to Amsterdam and he got to try them. At you guys's, and then he bought a pair when he got back home, and he has quite a large head, so
Okay.
and he finds them super comfy. I've tried them; they fit my head, but
I have not tried them yet, so
I left them in my hotel. I should have sort of bought them to be like, well,
yeah, but maybe we do have the purchasers. They might be watching. Maybe you have a sample laying around, and we could bring them in and do a quick test. But what I've heard is that it shouldn't be any problems, and
I think they're quite normal sized for a like larger over ear.
Yeah, I mean, like only looking at the picture, obviously it looks, like the memory foam. It shouldn't be any problem with glasses or stuff like that. And even if it's pushing a little bit, it shouldn't be a problem, because sometimes you can see quite quickly on a product if it's like sitting too tight, and especially the material does a lot, I would say. Oh yeah, here we go.
Ah, here it is.
Like a service. Perfect.
thank you.
You'll get a very honest review, basically.
Yeah,
Should I give it to
I've
you?
already
This
tried
would be a
them.
bias review.
And I would say I have a
Massive
large
head.
Yeah, massive head. Do they squeeze? No, they do not. I would say they might be, if you have like bigger ears, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. That's the only thing that I can think of. But they do not like squeeze in any way.
No.
Always so interesting when you try different headphones, especially live, because these are, they close out sound quite much, so it's kind of hard to speak.
Yeah, man får tunghäfta.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the only thing really. I mean, other than that, they sit quite nice. It doesn't obviously. You use the headphones maybe for longer amounts than 10 seconds, but as far as I can feel, there's no like actual pressure going around it. Only thing is that they might be a little bit smaller if you have like the big
like
ears.
the inner.
Yeah, like mine.
They're not small, but they're not the largest either. So.
No, exactly. Like I could feel. That's what I'm saying. Like I can feel the trim, but
they're memory foam, so they. Yeah.
But it's also that, I mean, these are kind of one of the best ones to show the modularity. I always get so you can just sort of see
all right, yeah.
that from, and that like...
We can actually bring the,
okay.
let's bring this, I can, it's right here.
There you go.
Yeah. So here you can see the battery. So it's super easy to replace. I'll try and look at the camera at the same time as I'm doing it. That's kind of hard, but yeah, there we go. And I think it's also on the product page. You can see like the different. Is it a picture? I've seen somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Here you can see like the different the different parts that you can replace.
And these are very similar in design to the old pairs, aren't they?
It follows the same kind
It's
of
only a new driver.
exactly,
Yeah.
and then the pads as well, and then the overarching top bit as well.
Yeah.
Do they survive the shake test? I don't know. We can try. How much are you supposed to shake?
A
It depends who you're
stupid
listening to.
amount.
Yeah.
They do not.
Not if you shake like that. Is that a standard USB-C cable? Was the question? Do you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
USB-C. Yeah. To charging. Yeah.
Can the battery be charged outside of the headphones?
No. So the battery will need to be in to charge it.
Yeah. Do you offer different foam options from like leather or others for the headphones?
I meant the
Headphones.
tiny cable connecting the two sides. If that is USB-C, I guess. Yes.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There's a USB-C running through the headband.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. I think you can see it more clearly here, for example. So this
Yeah.
one
There
here
we go.
is
Yeah.
USB-C. You should maybe cut out the interview part of this video as a separate video clip. Lots of fun and information. Yeah, for sure we should.
Stuff about Sweden.
Yeah, we'll do the sauna part.
That needs to be dead and buried.
That's actually perfect. I'll send that to Fred later, our editor. Yeah. He'll have a blast with this live stream for sure.
I really appreciate what Fairphone is doing. Have you seen a noticeable uptick in your sales due to movements to buy European? We were talking about that earlier. You only sell in Europe, and you've seen an uptick. So kind of yes, but it's hard to compare since you're.
We're only so the audio has been made available in the US.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the smartphone and Fairphone's history is predominantly Europe. It's something that we as a company are leaning into from a communication perspective to be like, look, like we are a European brand, support European companies, and definitely are starting to sit, and we're starting to get feedback from our resellers to be like, look, like from an Android perspective, you're really up there. And that's like, it's really exciting. Yeah.
Huh? You should have a giveaway with the green phone with a pair of green Fairbuds XL. Well, we will not have the phone. You'll have to buy that one. But we will actually do a giveaway on one of these. And I guess we can start that competition right away, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll run it for 9 minutes, so 18:50. We'll end it. So we'll do like a quick little giveaway. So it will be. I guess we can do like any color that. Or what colors do they exist in? Is it black and green? Yeah, black and green. So any color that the winner wants, we'll fix.
Any thoughts of adding USB-C connector to your wireless in-ear?
So I saw that question.
I like that to easily jump between phone and laptop at work.
I don't know the answer to that question. All I can say is that I use the XLs, and you can, from a Bluetooth perspective, connect to the phone and your laptop.
Yeah,
but that's all I can say about that. I don't know if I've misinterpreted the question.
Yeah, I'm also trying to figure it out. Kan du skriva det på svenska? Så kanske klarar ut det bättre. I'm looking at the Fairphone 6 spare parts page. Are they all the same parts as the original, or are there any upgrades now or planned in the future?
So I think we've tackled this one a couple of times. So the spare parts that are available for the Gen 6 is really from a repairability perspective.
Yeah, right.
So for example, if like your battery deteriorates or you've dropped it and the screen is cracked, or like you've got dust in the USB, like all of those parts are available to buy. We have in the past created modules from an upgradable perspective. It's not something that we've done now, but the design of the phone allows for it. But I think it's really important to highlight that the modularity of the device is really about repairability.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you considered supplying a USB dongle, like to actually have like a 2.4 gigahertz connection, as you would have on a gaming headset?
I don't know the answer to that. What we do have, and we sort of mentioned, someone had put a comment, it wasn't so much a question, they were talking about headphone jack. So
Right.
the device doesn't have a headphone jack, but we do have, as a spare part, a USB-C to headphone jack to be able to do that if
Right.
people wanted.
Yeah.
Okay. And that should answer, could you use the USB-C as for sound, or is it only for charging? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, your community is so polite. I feel like we've asked a question and someone said, "I'm so sorry, I've missed that. Thanks for clarifying."
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
but it's kind of
That's really nice. I don't mind repeating.
And that's what happens with live streams, because people might come in later.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
So-
it's gonna.
And this is also a question that I've seen before. Could you buy all the spare parts to build the phone from scratch?
No is the
No.
answer to that question.
Yeah. Can you remove any apps you want in Fairphone? On many phones, you can't delete like separate apps if you want to. And I think like some stock apps you cannot remove, and that's just how Android is. But except for that, I don't think you have like any apps that you install that you can't uninstall.
Yeah, you'll have to figure. I don't know the answer to that question.
But we can also repeat that it is open to installing EOS.
Yes.
That if you don't want Google in your device,
All right.
which also has like Bank ID, but it's more like a open. Is it open source or is it just a?
I'm pretty sure it's open source. Yeah, I was actually having it. Right there. Sorry to change the subject. Is there any news on the mousepad design competition? There's not any news, but we do have a winner, and we will announce it next week for sure. But we're still looking into some details in regards to if we're gonna have any other mouse pads that we're gonna produce at the same time. So
Is this your thing, mouse? I mean, it's rather ironic.
Oh my God. Here we go again. Yeah, that's why I'm always talking about mouse pads. Yeah, people know I like my mouse pads. Now we had a competition going back 1 year. We had a competition where people could design a iNet mouse pad. And then we actually produced those in a limited amounts. And then we did another competition recently where we did like the same competition again, but for this year.
A good question, by the way, or
No,
are you any plans to bring Moments to the Fairphone 5?
Good question.
Because that could be a widget, I guess, instead of a physical switch.
So I think it's important to highlight that the Moments is kind of like a hardware meets software kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So the software element of it, there's a lot of it that is an Android feature. So there's a lot that you could do to try and replicate Moments within your Fairphone 5 from just it being Android, right? And that doesn't mean that it's a Fairphone. You could do that.
Yeah.
But the real kind of Fairphone flavor on it and the hardware piece is obviously related to Gen 6. So no is the answer to that question, but I think there's a few things you can do within Android if you want to kind of reduce your usage to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we can also clarify because we have an interview with one of the guys who is behind the Moments. So check out our start page. It's Jeroen. How do you pronounce it?
Jeroen.
Jeroen.
Although
Okay.
I'm not Dutch either, so I'm probably butchering it as well.
Anyway, they have a software developer who is working on Moments, and he's also. We asked him how does that differ from the Android's Do Not Disturb function, and basically it utilizes a lot of the good stuff with Android's Do Not Disturb, but makes it much more accessible and more fluid, and you can like customize it in a much simpler way. So you can replicate a lot of it, but it's much more manual. So that's one of the big things with Moments. So yes, let's see. The Fairbuds, as in the in-ear ones, they looked rather large. How do they feel in your ear? Have you tried enough in-ear to?
Yeah, but I would feel that my answers are always going to be biased because
for sure. But neither of us have tried it, so just to give them.
Where's Martin?
But could you compare them?
Really annoying. I'm not coming in again. I've used them. I think. No, I think my answer is going to be biased. So I'll keep it neutral.
And unfortunately, I haven't tried them, so I can't.
I guess the best thing is to look at reviews and see if you can get like some sort of information from that, because I haven't tried them either. And I do have. I'm very sensitive to in-ears. Like I do like the slide-in, like not the one that you push in.
Okay.
So I think it's such a like personal item, because obviously everyone's ears are working differently, so it's super hard to say, even if
Same here. I usually buy one that looks similar to something that I've like the shape that goes into the ear, that it's kind of similar to something that I've used and liked before, because I can't use something like the AirPods Pro or Nothing Ear or stuff like that has a very short shaft that goes into the ear canal.
Okay, Johan. Sure. How good is the microphone on the Fairbuds? For example, if you're running, bicycling, could you have your microphone unmuted within a Teams meeting without the microphone picking up the wind?
I think I'm gonna have to give a real answer. I think it's tricky. It's again. These are my my only headphones. And it is, in Amsterdam, everybody cycles. And so I've had a few people ring me whilst I'm listening to music, and then like obviously the call will come through because it's Bluetooth, and I'll answer it and be like, oh, this will be so lovely that I can, cycle and talk. But if it's windy, they can't hear you. So it's in that perspective, it's definitely something we want to improve, right? And I think it's a category that we've kind of recently started in, and we've like the company is growing a lot, and we have recently hired quite a few people in the audio segment. So I think it can only get better. But in terms of like, if you're in the gym or like I'm always conscious about promoting the products because I work for it. So
I like the answer.
You definitely, if it's windy, you're not going to be able to take a call. But I can't concentrate without listening to music. So I will be listening to music in the office, and so I've got these on potentially, depending on how many meetings I have, but maybe 4 hours a day, and it's also got the blocks out sound. And from that perspective, I think they're really good, really good.
We do.
So noise cancellation. Yeah, so they do noise cancellation, and the noise cancellation part is really good.
Right. It's a bit confusing with both of them are called Fairbuds, but there's Fairbuds XL, and then there's just the
ones in the ear you can also call the true wireless.
That makes
TW.
I'm kind of tempted to buy the XL and make.
And people do that. So colleagues, I've seen Burner, I think, has done it in that you can, because of the modularity of it, you can mix and match and change the colours. And you can do it with the phone as well. So you can sort of put different accessories on and different colors. So yeah.
Any plans to, we were talking about that before actually, but is there any plans to add wireless charging to Fairphone in general, like say the next phone, for example?
Say that again, sorry.
To add wireless charging to the Fairphone.
Okay, yeah, right. So
Yeah, now we can talk about
yes. Now I get it. Yeah, so we've moved from fast charging to wireless charging. So I'm going to basically regurgitate my answer of what I said about wireless charging is that, so when wireless charging first came out, the conclusion that the product team made at Fairphone was that it wasn't actually very energy efficient.
Right.
So you weren't really getting bang for your buck, and actually in terms of us trying to be as environmentally pro as possible and energy efficient as possible, it wasn't there. It's got better. So wireless charging has improved, but at the time of the design of the Gen 6, it would have also caused a trade-off. So for the phone to be able to allow for wireless charging, the phone would have been bigger. And one of the big pieces of feedback that we got around Fairphone 5 and Fairphone 4 was the phone was quite large. And again, like when you're trying to get to a mass market audience, you want to be listening to what's saying. So it was a design decision around energy efficiency and also that it would have made the device a lot bigger. Doesn't mean that we rule it out for the future, but at the time being, those were the decisions that were made.
Yep. How about the transparency mode?
Oof, I miss that. I really, Fairphone 2, I think so when you interviewed Miguel, you asked him like what his favorite phone was, and he...
okay, I have to back you up again.
Yeah.
Not the transparent case on the phone. Transparency mode. You know the ANC, the microphones in here can be used to hear people from outside.
Oh, okay.
So if you either to block out noise or to let more noise in, so that you can like
I don't know
hear traffic better.
Yeah, apologies. I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. But also then. Transparent phones. Coming back.
If I don't need to say my favorite device, I won't.
Maybe some of the purchasers could help us out with that. I'm not sure about that one either, to be honest.
The battery capacity is good enough on my Fairphone Gen 6, and it charges fast, so I never felt the need for wireless charging anyway. But I get that it's very personal. For me, for instance, I'm used to wireless charging by now, so it would be like I think I'd feel that something is lacking in a sense. At least having the option, I guess. But it's also it's such a luxury function, to be honest.
I think again it's a little bit like you said about muscle memory. I think it's all about like how you tackle
this.
Yeah, no, but how you are used to it basically, because I do recognize myself in some of that things. For example, oh my god, I can't remember. There was a product. I think it was like I was going from wireless to wired again, and that was like a huge thing because you were. I think it was the headphones. Yeah, so I went from wireless headphones to wired again. And some things that I would do, for example, when I was sitting by the PC, was be like, you stand up and then walk. Yeah. And I don't know how many times I was sometimes, I think it's more like, like getting used to it again. But at the same time, I understand it, like it's a luxury thing for sure. We will do the competition very soon.
Trademark.
Yes. Very soon. Valve time, as they say. The classic.
So do you have any more questions for Luke while we are waiting for the competition? Perhaps your favorite game?
The first question was actually, it was way before. Have you tried Swedish meatballs yet?
Oh.
Yes.
And which, I also said, are the IKEA meatballs or the Biltema korv best? The sausage from Biltema.
Oh, God. I've done the IKEA ones. and there is sadly I should have. There's a restaurant in Gothenburg that we went to, and it was I had Swedish meatballs there. It's very nice, very tasty.
Right, yeah. The place where this whole idea of going to Amsterdam, that specific place, they are actually known for making good meatballs. So yeah, but we were not there for meatballs that evening. That's one thing that's sure. But they do have a very good. They're a bit pricey, but I do like them. Absolut.
You need to go to Oves Mos in Sävedalen and buy köttbullar med mos in Lingonberry, best i stan. That's a very... are you leaving early tomorrow?
Around about midday.
And you can sneak in a quick lunch.
Okay, yeah. No idea, an early lunch, yeah.
Yeah, we should try and figure out the best Swedish place to go to for you.
I'm open to all recommendations. Someone's asked if the phone is single, and
that's also an inside joke.
It is an inside joke, but like so I'm the second person from Fairphone to come here.
Yeah.
And we, when Javier was here, we told lots of people at Fairphone that to watch the stream.
Yeah.
And so we've got like a kind of Mattermost channel of like media activity, and we put the link of Javier's YouTube on here, and then after it I was like, well, as a company we probably need to make a decision as to whether or not the phone is single or not. And then there was this like huge debate from lots of different people in the company as to whether Fairphone Gen 6 is single. And then people, because the conversation like went into like quite deep and lots of people having an opinion on it, some people didn't realize that it came from this stream.
Oh, okay.
And so they were like, why are we talking about if the phone is single or not? This is so relevant. And then
I love it.
and as an Easter egg, which I'm actually disappointed that none of you noticed. So when we pitched the whole kind of beyond the blueprint Dutch design, Swedish perspective, so this whole kind of Fairphone Inet collaboration, I presented like a slide, like we sent a slide deck to the whole team, and in tiny letters on one of the slides,
really?
I wrote, "Is the city single?" And none of you picked up on it.
I'm sorry and I'm
So I'm quite
ashamed.
disappointed because I feel like I became part of the invent and tried to like build on it, and no one noticed.
Sorry.
It's
amazing that it became such a huge thing. I love it. I have to check it out now. We do have the competition ready, so I think we can. Let's present the wheel. Here is the wheel. So there is on the line right now is one pair of Fairbuds XL. These right here. Well, not this one specific. Well, you can pick any color you want. I guess we just spin the wheel basically. Do a bit of shuffle. Doing the shuffle is very important. Doing the shuffle is extremely important actually. Shall we? Let's go.
Oh yeah, drum roll.
We should add it through the live stream actually.
Yeah, for sure. Love the color theme of the wheel today. Agree.
It's very nice.
You should go in and buy a forest green headphone XL if you're not the winner, or the phone. Hans Myder.
Hans Myder.
Rattis. Hans Myder. So you can say congratulations instead of congratulations.
Ratis.
Yeah.
Ratis.
Or ratulations, I guess.
Yeah, it's another internal meme. Like when we started the live stream and we had this wheel, there was like a pop-up saying congratulations. In Swedish it's grattis with a G in the beginning, but it cuts the G from the live stream, so it was just grattis. So now it's
So this is so cool. Someone mocked me earlier being like Swedish people are so polite, but like it's nice that someone's won, but the rest of the community is congratulating this person. If you did this in England, everyone would be like, what the fuck, isn't it me? Oh, this is bullshit. I love that you're like, nice.
Behind the scenes, our bodies working hard with all the profanity.
Yeah, no. It's actually insane how many times my cousin won on this wheel. I've just been sending. He's always.
Now you ruined it.
My god. It's gonna be the new meme.
Also, happy Swedish guy. Why isn't it me? This is bullshit. You turn even the happy Swedish guy.
Oh yeah, it's actually named Happy Swedish Guy.
Yeah.
Everyone is throwing me meatballs in rage right now while congratulating the winner.
Oh yeah. Well, so have anyone in the chat bought the new Fairphone now when we had it on special price? I wanna know that. I guess we can update this one. The forest green was on 49. I had 2 so far on that one. I guess the forest green is usually the most popular one. So it's either forest green this color or black.
Well, Martin came in and sort of gave 2 thumbs up. So I think it's going well.
Oh yeah.
He was like, yeah.
It has cost you nothing so far.
Nope, I still own a Fairphone 5. Fair enough. Fair
No,
enough.
totally.
That's actually. Will there be more questions? Will there be more different colors on the? We touched that subject before, but there was someone who really wanted a red phone.
Okay.
Yeah,
And now we have purple.
So one of the interviews from the sort of collaboration that we've done is
Pink.
is
all the
with Berner, who is our industrial designer in CMF. So that's CMF is Colors, Manufacturing and Finishing. I could be getting the M wrong, maybe. But in her video, she talks about what is it that we're looking at, what are we going to do. But yeah, it's still nothing released openly yet. But obviously, like, we're always looking at what is it that maybe a mass market audience would want to do.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Also, to recap, how long do you guys support with updates? We can say for the Gen 6, they did 8 years, so until 2033, with 5 years warranty and 11 years of spare parts.
Nice, yeah.
Got it with me today.
Well, I guess since you can actually pick apart like some of the parts, you could paint them as well if you want to. I'm not sure how that.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, I could screw with the fit and finish.
I know.
Change them around.
But yeah, we had this discussion with Glorious as well. I think with different parts that you can take them around. Transparent, yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what happens in the future. What about recommendations for 3D printing?
Yeah,
We've had, so I think why our collaboration is quite good. I'd like to believe that we have a similar community to the Inet community. So a lot of our forum is quite a big kind of platform in terms of sort of conversation around things that are going on Fairphone, and then we've had community members build things specially for the Fairphone using 3D printers. We've never been able to sell them, but we put them on our internal chat channels, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is so cool that they did that." So we had someone do a kind of like Lego back cover that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's not something that we ban or anything, but yeah, it's not something that we sell either. We kind of just, if it happens, we applaud it because we think it's cool. And it is cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How about warranty? Jag kan ta det på svenska för bara 5 års garanti. Alltså ifall något skulle vara fel på produkten från början eller liksom sluta funka. Och så är det 11 års liksom reservdelar. Så om du efter 6 år känner att jag behöver ett nytt batteri, då kan du beställa det och de förlänga livslängden på din mobil genom att själv byta ut batteriet. Det är superenkelt och så vidare. Så det.
Och hur många mjukvara?
Till 2033. Yes. Så de tog 8 år från att de släppte mobilen. Så den här mobilen släpptes då förra sommaren i juni. Så 8 år därifrån då. Sorry.
Will there be another competition tonight? No, there won't be any more competition. So if you missed out the competition, you can still buy the products on our website. The prices will be live until midnight, and you need to be logged in order to see the correct price. Does the phone have a built-in magnet that supports car holders?
No. But I believe there are sort of accessories where you can put the phone in and then sort of tighten it by screws, but certainly not a magnet, no.
iNet, will you sell the EOS version directly going forward?
So in Martin's defense, who is the in-app purchaser, he is asking me this question on an almost bi-weekly basis, being like, when the fuck can I sell it? So it's not fair enough. He actually says it. So look, we really want to do it. It's something that is in process, but you're talking about one contractually, because there's another company involved, which is Morena. So we need to have sort of contract in place to be able to do it, and then you also need like the logistics of it, right? So the phone has to be already flashed with EOS, and it's nice that Martin's getting a shout out on the stream, unless it's him typing it himself, which he
has several accounts.
And then there's the logistics of it, and that comes back to the forecasting part, right? So again, we're a small organization, so if you start putting in too many SKUs in there, it becomes quite difficult to manage. But there is definitely a demand there to warrant us being able to do it. So we want to do it, and it's in the pipeline, basically.
Yeah. Shame our vad heter lön nu? Salary. It's due for tomorrow. So it's one in the chat that says it's a shame that we...
I guess this is one of the few occasions that I would say it's maybe okay to do it on the Qliro, that you because they do have that you can pay and then pay within 14 days, and it's gonna be completely free. Usually I don't like
we could also
credit,
ask Martin if we can extend it like
that's true.
An hour,
I
so
guess
that you can buy it just after the salary is now.
I'm not sure that's how it works. Doesn't it? The salary is randomly drop during the day. Is it midnight? I can't remember.
I think I get it midnight.
Oh, maybe it is. Yeah.
I have it like a habit to check it when I wake up, just to see, I got money.
I'm so bad. I never check it, honestly. I should do.
It drops randomly during the night. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Shame. Okay, then it might be a bit of a problem.
I enjoy that we can't see Ludwig, but every so often we can hear Chris.
we can hear that he's alive at least. He's there living. Well, well, we did get this question quite a lot, and so basically we do have this app called Bank ID. I was talking about it before, and people are asking like the support for Bank ID, and I obviously think that's nothing that you can answer, but I think we'll definitely look it up. And if you join our Discord, discord.gg/inet, and you can tag me there, Molin. I'll try and get the answer because I think I'm not sure if it's like something that Fairphone is controlling or if it's something that Bank ID is controlling. But it should be fine as long as Fairphone is upgrading to the latest Android, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that should be fine.
We just moved to Android 16, which is the latest one. So yeah.
So basically, well, if I reverse that question, so when you do the software, like you support the software for 8 years, you said.
Yeah.
Do you always upgrade to the latest Android, or how does that software support work?
So we have the promise is 8 years. So essentially, the phone came out in June last year. We will do software updates, so monthly. I can't remember the exact year, but there's like a cutoff period where we'll do like security patches on a monthly basis for a certain amount of years, and then it will become bi-monthly for maybe like the last 2 or 3. But like, don't quote me on that. I know, like basically, essentially, it's monthly and then it's bi-monthly on a certain amount of years, and the promise is at least 5 years of Android upgrades. So it came out on 15, so at least until 20.
Okay,
that's kind of the objective.
Well, then you partially will get like that one answered. Right. Any plans to provide upgraded modules for the older phones? And this one comes back all the time. But yeah, any plans to provide upgraded modules for the older phones, like newer camera system for the Fairphone 5 or bigger battery, and so on?
No is the answer to that. Yeah. So no upgrades, but essentially there is the objective to still, like I mentioned earlier, right? So Fairphone 3, 7 years later, we are now ending software support for it. So Fairphone 5, Fairphone 4, the objective will be to try and keep those in the hands of the users for as long as possible.
Right.
We can do that by 2 ways: the spare parts availability and the supporting of software updates and security patches. But in terms of like upgrade of the device, no.
No. Nice. All right. Wish you guys could do Klarna instead. Well, that's actually interesting. You can still use Klarna on iNet if you do it through their website or their app. So I think you can go on Klarna, or you used to do this. I haven't used Klarna in such a long time. But if you go to the app on Klarna, you can go into their built-in web browser, and you should be able to pay through Klarna on our website, even if we do not support it. And we don't support it because they required their checkout solution on our website, and we did not want that. We want our own checkout. So that's why we're not using Klarna, and we're using Qliro instead. But it's basically the same stuff. Yes. I have no idea what that question means.
Which
for crisis situation, DSON for crisis situation, possible to relay between Fairphones if
Is it like a mesh network for?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
But there's one about framework which I could take.
Yeah, for sure.
So what does Luke think about framework? I think they're great. Someone that used to work for Fairphone now also works for Framework, which is nice. A good friend of mine, actually. Some of their team came and visited the office, so the Fairphone office, and they took a picture of Framework and Fairphone, and I think we put it on. We put it on one of our social media platforms. I can't remember whether it is our forum or whether it was like Facebook or something.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the most kind of like engagement posts that we've had. Everyone was like, oh my God, are they finally working together? Are they doing something together? So like nothing is official. Like we obviously see what they're doing. They see what we're doing. We're supporters of their philosophies, but there's no kind of like official link between the two. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. Our IT team uses Framework and like big supporters of them.
I actually have a shot of them in the video.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I noticed you had Framework, so I was like,
I saw that in one of the videos. I was like, cool that made it in. Yeah, no, good, it made it in. So yeah, I think they're a really cool company. In answer to that question.
Yeah, so framework are basically modular laptops. So they don't do all the environmental stuff like you do in that sense, I think. They're more like pro-consumer.
What I know about them is more kind of modular in terms of the products that they make available. Yeah.
There's a question here in Swedish. Has there been any thoughts about making a standard for the dimensions in the hardware so the modularity and spare parts will be more sustainability and be
relevant for longer?
Yeah. Had a hard time translating that one.
It's a question we get a lot. I think one of Fairphone's objectives is, in terms of one of the pillars, right, is circular products. And so that is something that we should be striving for. I think it's really, again, I'm in the sales team, right, and not the product team, so I don't want to speak too much on their behalf, but I think a lot of it comes down to trade-offs, and trade-offs that have been made in order for Fairphone to grow. And I think some people might be skeptical of that and be like, oh, why have they made that decision? But ultimately, the bigger Fairphone becomes, the more impact it can have on some of these like really, really massive things in terms of potentially like child labor or the wages that people are being paid. So like, I think sometimes you see people, especially now as we're becoming bigger on social media and comments, and you see people being very, very critical about certain things that we've done. But like, I think it's like, well, look, if you've bothered to follow Fairphone in the first place and you're interested in what we're doing, and hopefully you're supportive of what the company wants to achieve from an industry perspective, you'll understand some of these decisions to make. And like, sometimes it's decisions that the company doesn't want to make. Like it's trade-offs. It's a massive, massive part of trade-offs. But I totally get the question, and I think your sort of circular economy dream, right, is that everything is interchangeable.
Yeah. Question: my Fairphone broke down last year, and I had to send it over to France for repair. Is there any plans to have certified repairs in Sweden in the future?
Great question. So that's kind of on me. As someone that looks...
Why haven't you?
Yeah. As someone that looks after our growth in Sweden, essentially, like, it's to prove the business case that there is enough demand for our products to warrant us having a repair center in Sweden.
Yeah.
So at the moment, sadly, and although we are growing, the business case isn't there yet.
Yeah.
So I hope that we get to that point, because also, right, it's and you're right for calling it out, right, that's not sustainable that, for a repair that a device is having to go to France. But I think you also have to take the size of the organization with a pinch of salt, right? We just don't have this unlimited resource to have repair centers all over Europe, because we're just not big enough.
Yeah.
Also, a good thing is that, like, the phones don't need to come to the repair centers because the quality of the products is good enough. But of course, there are things that slip through the cracks. So in answer, and great question, all the questions have been great, but this is one that's really kind of on me to sort out, is that, our sales aren't big enough yet to warrant it, but I hope that we get to a place soon enough to do that.
Yeah, let's see how the drops sell.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. Yeah, true.
Maybe you could post a CAD model of the future phones so that they can be used for the printer community. I mean, usually it goes kind of fast. It's like printer community is used, especially for Fairphone, it feels like it's just going to happen anyway. But yeah. iNet official.
Yeah, I saw that. I was pointing. I thought, I like that idea. Definitely have the capacity. Well, the technicality.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, would be interesting having an in-house repair shop.
Well, to be honest, when we did the training, so there was two of us, and we were given like a 30-minute slot. And the first 15 minutes, I gave like a kind of presentation about Well, you guys were there. Yeah. I remember it was really boring. And then the second part, my colleague Lisan was basically doing like a teardown.
the way it was designed is that she was going to sort of like show everyone, and basically like every single group like didn't listen to her. They were just like straight into it, which is great. And I remember giving the feedback. I was like, it was so cool that everyone was just like so instantly attracted to being able to take the phone apart and not needing to wait for instructions, or like, yeah, they were kind of like straight into it, which I think was great.
Your presentation was not boring, by the way.
No.
I remember. I thought it was. No, but I remember like usually when we do that, like especially you and me who works with marketing, we get to meet a lot of the manufacturers, and we do get these presentations. But Fairphone was one of the few companies that time. I think it was Fairphone and also Asus that actually had like completely new stuff. So for me, it was super interesting. I really liked the...
Yeah, something that was refreshing, just some good feedback, was that you're actually like super open with what you're doing well and what you want to do better.
Yeah.
Because you were like, we have, I'm not sure if it was a 47% fair or recycled, which is not good enough, but it's the best in the business, which is sad, etc. You were like super open with and show statistics of like a lot of tragic numbers, to be honest, but which also made us very interested.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think
that huge of a problem.
I think that was actually the groundwork for me coming up to you later in the evening, wanting to do like more with Fairphone.
Want to show your mouse pad?
You don't do a fair mouse pad, do you?
You never did a mouse pad, did you?
God, this guy again.
Fucking mouse pad. No, but I really wanted to, like get that information to our community. Basically, I thought it was super interesting. Yeah. Maybe it's just me and my mom.
No. But like, I think again, it's from a personal perspective. It's kind of. I think it's important to be motivated by what you do professionally, and so I'm very passionate. Hopefully, this has come across about working for Fairphone. But one of those reasons is that there's no bullshit in the sense that it's like we're not 100% sustainable. We're not 100% ethical. I think I'm more interested and inspired by Fairphone's take on, hey, these are the really shitty things that are happening within this industry, and these are some of the things we can do in an attempt to get there. But like, it's Fairphone's mission, right, is to inspire others. It's not just to try and get to that place of 100% like sustainability, because you'll never get there anyway, because what is considered sustainable will always change. Yeah. So I think it's cool that you sort of saw that in the presentation, but I think it's a good kind of compliment to Fairphone's transparency that actually we're not 100% sustainable, Yeah.
No, definitely. I don't know how the question was way before, but we send out candies with each other, licorice. Have you tried them?
I haven't, and we sort of spoke about this.
Backman, maybe you can go down to our service department, get some. I think you should get like one hexvrål.
Do you eat candy too?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, now he does, okay.
Or speed.
I think I want to leave if we're going to do that, but okay.
Yeah, we do have an old candy, but I can't. It's one candy left in the...
Oh, yeah, and that's just...
Yeah, this is like a licorice that is like the strongest not the strongest. Sorry, there's always something, but this is one of the stronger licorice. It's like super salt.
If Hot Ones did licorice, it would be on. But so it's not the bomb.
We don't want to go into the deep end too quickly. Yeah.
No, for sure not. I mean, maybe we'll do a Fairphone mouse pad. It could be a cool concept, having like the different parts and like how to repair, the phone, and then you could have it as a mouse pad as well.
Yeah,
but I do like a good mouse pad. I still haven't unwrapped it, honestly. It's still in the package. I saw it the other day.
Really?
Yeah. I still, oh my god, yeah. I feel bad for it. Talking so much about it.
Will there be a Fairpad tablet in the future? We've answered that already, but
it's okay. We will. We get this question a lot, so much so that we've had it a few times in this stream. But the answer that I gave when this was first asked is that consumer electronics is incredibly complex, and I think what Fairphone doesn't want to do is dilute its efforts into too broad of a portfolio to then not really be able to achieve what it wants to achieve in terms of quality and sustainability. And I think already branching out into audio on top of smartphone, and then let's not forget like the accessories that we have, including the chargers and the cables, I think is enough to kind of keep an eye on, but then never say never. So yeah, let's see.
Exciting. I'm also excited to see which flavor is your favorite of the
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah.
Pingu sticks.
Yes, exactly. The penguin sticks. Very nice.
Such a random name, but...
Well, it's yeah, penguin stick. Yeah, I guess that would be the correct translation.
Yet Hexvrål, which is like the witch's roar.
Scream?
Yeah, like the scream of a witch, or the witch. Yeah, a witch's roar.
We're talking about
is it the candy?
Yeah, we're talking about the
okay.
candy.
It's a flavor.
Yeah.
Sorry, throughout the stream, I've kind of been distracted as well.
Yeah. No, it's totally
Oh shit. Okay, they put the alarm on so we can't access it.
Well, there was one here.
Yeah,
but it's old.
they're very old.
I mean, I don't, I don't want to disappoint your user group.
Let's see how old.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, this is
Yeah, that one is too old.
Yeah.
They are there for the props.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can hear this is like a soft candy.
Okay.
It should not be able to
okay.
snap like this.
Well, we'll see. I know. We really should have some on the office. It's a shame. We're really bad. Maybe in the conference room there used to be.
Yeah, i röda.
But yeah, we'll see.
You just click your fingers.
I do that when I'm... no, it was me trying to figure out.
Shop.
No.
So rude. Honestly, I would like fair everything. A fair laptop, for example. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess
I
we'll
want a
see.
fair car that is actually easily
I want a fair.
repairable.
Oh, I want a fair dog. Like just a fair. Yeah, like a fair dog.
One treat for you, one treat for me.
Exactly.
That's not what's about to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you do have any more questions in regards to Fairphone, it's going to be the last chance because we're going to have to close the stream in about, let's say, 15 minutes ish. So, any more questions before we do the candy test? The penguin stick candy, as we call it. It's very, very good. There's... It's such a shame that we don't. I really should have some laying around here in the studio as well. That's fresh.
Yeah, it's all too old, yeah.
Yeah, they are all very. I think the oldest one there, it was expired 2020.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's 6 years ago now.
They think we should adopt you. That's a good.
I think all
compliment.
Those of you that came to Amsterdam are probably sick of seeing me. So, so whilst I think it's a great compliment, I think these guys are like, why is he still in Gothenburg?
No, you're being too harsh on yourself.
Can I get Luke's number? I like how the more we get relaxed, the more weirder the question is.
If every Fairphone from the drop came with a personal Luke, then I'd buy another one. Oh.
Very kind.
Oh, I don't see a ring chat.
So, are you single?
I am, yeah.
No, there we go. Amazing.
And your number?
No. I'm sort of looking to Martin as if he's like my personal protector. Like, security.
Not for long. I think you got an admirer here.
Empty everywhere. And
It's empty everywhere.
Meeting in.
Oh fuck yeah! It's the board member meeting.
Yep.
That's so fun.
I was so close to the room, and there was like 40 people inside.
That's amazing. The fucking board review meeting,
Yeah.
and Backman is going in like.
Need a pingvinstång. Don't mind me.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about getting someone's phone number, did you know the developer of the Windows Task Manager put his phone number in the source code? No, I had no idea. That's a weird thing.
Yeah. They're suggesting that we do another competition with a date with Luke as the.
Oh, that's
Oh, I don't know why I keep looking at Martin as if he's like my
big brother.
Is this okay?
Can you protect me?
Oh, yeah.
No, but at least your autograph.
I don't want to decrease the value of your phone.
No,
but I'm very grateful to everyone that has bought a device.
They might want it. They might want it. Well, too bad. It's really a shame that we couldn't find the candy. Will you have to do it off?
Are these also super old?
I'm guessing so. Oh God, why did I do that?
You can almost feel it.
I mean, this one, no.
You can hear it so.
If we started shouting it because our studio computer is, yeah. Oh my God.
We broke a fan.
It sounds terrible, honestly.
Yep. That's how you do it.
That's how you fix the computers. When in doubt, ping Lindstone.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess with that said, we can like kind of wrap it up. So
yeah.
basically, go and watch the videos. We have them on anecdotes.se. There's news articles and there's videos. Super interesting. I really look forward to watching the interviews. I haven't done that yet. And we still have the campaign prices live. So we'll probably have, we just got a drop link in both chats. And they will run until midnight. You need to be logged in order to see them. We did have a competition, so if you were the person who won, you will get an email next week because we are having our education event tomorrow. So I will not.
What was congratulations again?
What was the what?
What was the word congratulations?
Grattis.
Grattis. Oh, well, the proper one is grattis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, grattis.
Yeah.
Grattis.
Grattis.
Yes. And then we'll look into making a sauna date together with Luke at the competition. Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Sauna.
We'll do like an ad on like naked, not naked. We'll see whatever.
Shower, not shower.
Yeah. It's an interesting topic. I never really thought about it that much. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, and thank you so much for Fairphone, and thank you, Luke, for joining us today. Thank you, Thrillhouse, for doing an amazing modding in the chat, and thank you to Backman, who has been behind the cameras doing the modding on the stream. And Martin, you are all right. It's the purchase manager for Fairphone.
You're here at least.
He's here to support, so that's kind of nice. And thank you guys for tuning in as well and asking so many questions. It's really nice to always being able to rely on you guys to ask good questions.
Yeah,
mostly good questions. Some of them.
I think all of them were pretty nice. To be
They
fair.
were okay.
And,
especially is he single?
yeah. Can I say also thanks for having me?
Yeah. Of
So
course.
I'm really really grateful for you guys to invite us and all the sort of effort that you put into giving Fairphone a spotlight. And then massive thanks to your community for asking some really fun and interesting questions. Like I was a little bit nervous, and I said this to Ludwig. Like I was like, what am I going to do for 2 hours? But like it's now what, 7:36?
Yeah.
This is literally like flown by.
Yeah,
no, thank
definitely.
you. Honestly, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I actually was thinking about that. That's why I wasn't like when we were talking before the stream. I was like, I don't want to plan anything because I think it's going to go so fast. Having the questions and the topics. I wasn't worried about that.
Yeah, we were planning on taking it apart, but
We didn't even get.
You can watch the workshop video if you want to see it in pieces. So yeah.
Well, with that said, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week. We'll do a smart home live stream, and we'll have people from Shelly and Govi amongst other. There's one person who's he's Danish. So it will be partly in English as well, but we'll do one segment in Swedish as well. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting.
I'm not here.
You're going to have a little bit of a break, yes. So it's going to be me, and it's going to be Patrick from Shelly. He used to work at a competitor before. Oh, yeah. So he's been on other live streams before. So that's going to be really interesting, actually. Yeah. And we're going to do that like a smart home campaign sort of thing. But there will be competitions and drops and everything.
Will you be here for the next stream as well next week?
Well, you can.
Someone was like, make sure you join. So.
yeah. No, well, for sure. You can. So yeah, thank you so much again, and we'll see you guys next week or on Discord.
Yep.
Cheers.